Throughout time, people with intellectual disabilities have been treated as less than human. In ancient times, it was common that children with disabilities were put to death by their parents. If a child with a disability survived, they were often slaves, drafted into the army, or beggars. Today, a large percentage of people with disabilities live in group homes and institutions, where sexual abuse is extremely common, along with physical abuse and neglect. Some of them are being made like vegetables because the great amount of care that they require is not available to them. This is because group homes and institutions are severely underfunded. In this film, we go in depth into one specific case, and while it may not be the case for all disabled people, it definitely is the case for some and needs to be heard.
My name is Christina Kohfield, and I was born on March 19th, 1965 in New York City. I was the second born of fraternal twin girls. My sister Jill and I were born with full heads of hair. My hair was dark brown, my skin olive-colored, my eyes almost black. My sister was born with blonde hair, pale skin, and blue eyes. My sister was also born severely brain damaged, leaving her intellectually disabled for the rest of her life. My parents were devastated. My mother went to every doctor and tried all the latest methods for treating brain damage. Nothing was too radical or expensive. But all of my mother's love and efforts couldn't heal Jill. She couldn't make her well. When Jill was 8, my parents put her in an institution. My mother, emotionally drained and fatigued, could no longer handle my sister's intense needs. Everyone around my mother convinced her that the best thing to do would be to put Jill in a state home. My father was for this, and so were friends and doctors. Life went on, and Jill, for most of her life, went unvisited. In my 20s, I sometimes forgot I had a sister. When someone would ask if I had siblings, I would respond, "I have a brother." I trained myself to forget about her. In 2012, my father passed away, and my mother and I gained full guardianship of Jill.
After over 40 years of living in group homes and institutions, Jill moved back in with her family. Institutional life was hard on Jill. When she arrived in Los Angeles, she was unable to walk, on over 20 unnecessary medications, being fed through a tube connected to her stomach, and covered in psoriasis. But let's begin with how Jill moving to an institution affected the family. Can you talk about the day that you took Jill when she was a child to the institution?
No.
Why?
It's too painful.
What was it like when you got home and she wasn't there?
It was devastating.
Did it feel like you lost a member of your family?
Yes. It's worse than a death. Because you worry about her. You don't know how she's doing. You don't know if they're taking good care of her. She's very vulnerable. She's just a beautiful blue-eyed baby.
When Jill was institutionalized as a child, did you feel like you lost a member of your family?
Yeah, I think it was a huge loss. I think it was an enormous loss. I almost feel like it's probably was such a big loss that I just shut it down. So losing Jill was very difficult.
And you know, that was my sister, and I remember loving her and being very close to her as a child. And I remember having fun with her, and you know, she was just gone one day, and that was it. And yeah, I don't even think, you know, because I'm a therapist and I've been through therapy, to tell you the truth. I don't even think I've really come to terms with with losing Jill.
Because we acted like Jill never existed, there's a hole in the family that we even forgot about.
She basically was not visited as regularly as she should have been. And a lot of it was because it was painful to go and visit her. And then each time that we visit her, to leave her, it was like an emotional heartbreak.
So I have this memory of us as a family visiting her, but then after one visit, that was it. We never visited again, and I think my parents divorced. Basically, your twin sister goes away, gone. It never happened. Don't talk about it. And then your father leaves because your parents get divorced. It never happened. Don't talk about it.
And you don't want to talk about when you took her at all?
It's too painful.
Okay.
I didn't want to leave her. I had an emotional breakdown.
I'm sure it must have hurt when Jill went away.
Okay, we're rolling.
We don't even have our appropriate furniture here. We look like a yard sale. Yeah, right here. We'll do this, okay? Want some glass? Miss Jill, you're looking so serious. She says, okay, then I'll leave. All done, okay? Yep. Want to stand up? Want to go in your wheelchair? Want to go in your wheelchair? Yeah. Want to stand up? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Want to stand up? Help me.
Hey, that was good. That was good.
Yeah. Okay. You want somebody on the other side of you? Huh? I can help you. Huh? Come on, stand up one more time, okay? What's the matter, Jill?
Yeah, she's just happy right there,
I
yeah.
guess so.
Just happy right
Want to
there.
sit down for some after supper?
Hypothetically, if Jill never was institutionalized and always lived at home, do you think she would be different today
Yes.
in any way?
There's no doubt in my mind.
How do you think she would be different?
She wouldn't have been injured, number one. So she wouldn't have gotten pregnant. So they wouldn't have done the hysterectomy, over-rectomy to cover it up. During a visit in 1995 with my grandson and her twin sister, Tina, we noted that Jill exhibited all signs of pregnancy: vomiting, distended stomach, swollen breasts. Every sign that I had when I was pregnant, she had. All the pathology that has been performed on Jill with respect to cancer has been negative. So why? It's incredible. It's just criminal. From a mother's perspective, it just brings out all the lioness in me. And I feel like just shouting it to the world. You don't do this to people. This population, they're human beings, just like you and me.
Why do you think they covered it up?
Why do you think?
It looks bad for them?
Of course. It's a criminal act. She was raped. Somebody there raped her. Somebody there committed an act, a felony. Of course.
After her operation, when was the next time you saw Jill?
About a year later,
And how had her health changed?
totally deteriorated. She was ambulatory before. She was not able to walk. They began a regimen of drugs where she was all groggy most of the time. She was on over 25 daily drugs and several as needed drugs. Blood tests showed she did not have any of the conditions that the drugs were prescribed for. That is a fact. That is a true fact. So where's the Hippocratic oath of doing no harm? Because those drugs were harming her. Jilly. 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 There's a pickup. Jilly. There's a pickup. You want this? Now being down to a reduced dosage of Keppra and just Prevacid. Those are the only two drugs she's on, basically. Her progress is incredible. Jill is alert. She's enjoying. She laughs.
Jill! Oh my gosh, Jill.
it's like she is a different person. Before she was a vegetable, now she's a human being. She's full of life. She has a personality. She's expressive. She's just a joy. So to actually just take away the joy of a human being, I mean, it's just, I don't understand it. Jilly, here it comes. Thank you. Here it comes, Jilly. Oh! You are happy. Yes, you are. You're happy. You look happy. That's a happy face. You're gonna give it to me, and I'm gonna give it back to you. You're gonna give it to me. Oh, you wanted to roll it to Bruno. She wants to roll it to Bruno. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, she can roll it. Look at that, Bruno. Ooh!
Jill,
Oh my God,
don't
Jill,
do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it,
Don't
Jill.
do it. Oh my God.
Jill.
I have to go get it. Oh my God. Oops. Oops. Do it to mommy. Do it to mommy. Hi. Hi, Chili. Do it to me. Do it to me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Throw it to Mom.
Are you going to throw it there again? The reason that they state that she was put on the G-tube was because she had aspiration pneumonia and she needed to temporarily, until her lungs cleared, be fed through the G-tube. We had a meeting in January, and I requested that a modified barium swallow test be administered to determine whether she could be taken off the G-tube.
So at first they gave her, I can't remember the things, like pudding, like soft stuff. And of course, like So then you see the machine and you literally see the whole thing. Her jaw is chewing. Then you see the tongue does its undulating thing and the food swallows and then it goes down the throat. Boom, no problem. And behind the scenes, we're like, yeah, rock star. And yet, after this second test, they still didn't want to feed her.
Yes. Out of the 6 residents, when we left, 5 of them were on G tubes. Since the early part of January, Jill has been eating, drinking, everything orally. The removal of the G tube has incredibly improved her health.
She's playing with her food.
She's
you
playing.
know, that
She's playing with
done
it.
eating.
She's playing with it just to say it's okay. Because I told her it was okay if she drops it.
It is okay. It's kind of a developmental stage, you know, so.
See? All medical data indicates that as soon as a patient is capable of feeding orally, that is the best for the patient. G tubes are intended as a temporary solution. So it has been a big improvement to her health. Jill started walking unassisted when she was approximately 2.5 years old. Prior to that, she would kind of crawl, and she would kind of walk with the assistance of Glenn and Tina. They were very sweet to her, and they would help her. When she was 2.5 years old, she pretty much started walking unassisted, but still she couldn't go far. So it wasn't until she was about 3 years old that she really took a stride on her own. After that, she just walked. In 1995, she had a hysterectomy and overrectomy. And after that, they started giving her a lot of drugs, which made her very groggy.
Here, let's walk to Dad. Go ahead. Walk to the wheelchair, even. Okay, go ahead. That's it. You want to sit back down? Okay.
So she started falling, and she started really having issues with balance. And after that, because she injured herself because of the fact that she was over-medicated, they started restraining her. The result of the restraint was basically that by the time that we brought her to California on November 14th, 2013, she could not even stand on her own.
for a second. Jill, let's turn your body. Left, right, left.
According to the podiatrist, one of her tendons has been shortened from lack of use and restraint. So we're hoping that with physical therapy, with care, with the new exercise that she's doing, the walking, that we will be able to get her back to the point where she's walking alone on her own.
She, at first, put most of her weight on me, and we would walk around the house just for exercise to get her so she wasn't sitting all day. So slowly but surely, Jill began getting better, and she started putting less weight on me and depending more on her own body weight to support her.
And her ability to now have better balance and better coordination. Again, with her nephew, Bruno, she stood by herself for about 20 seconds, balanced.
You did it, Jill. You're standing by yourself.
So this is a hope that she will be able to again walk on her own.
And for me, that was another breakthrough point in that she had found her balance.
Her leg muscles have toned up. When she first, yes, they have. When you first started living here, Jill, your legs were like sticks. Her legs now have more tone and are more muscular.
Her legs have become stronger. Her legs are no longer stick thin from atrophy. So she's building strength on her legs. And she's going to be walking pretty soon.
So she began balancing on her own, and eventually she took a few steps on her own. Oh, good, you're walking by yourself.
That is so wonderful. That is so wonderful.
So Jill continued to improve, and every day she would take a few more steps on her own. And eventually she was able to walk around the house completely by herself without me holding her.
Good job. You did well. You're proud of yourself. Yeah.
I got you. Because Jill can now easily stand and walk by herself, it is much easier for her mother to take care of her, potentially adding years for Jill to be taken care of at home. What we hope people take away from this film is that Jill is not the only one being mistreated in group homes. Jill is an example of what treatment is like, but with time and effort, the negative damage can be reversed. When you have a child, you sign up to care for them for 18 years. But when you have a child with an intellectual disability, you have to care for them for the rest of your life, or put them in an institution where they will most likely be mistreated in every respect, physically, sexually, etc. That has to change. The only way that will change is to realize that they are more normal than we perceive and have a lot in common with us. I've learned that we are all the same as Jill, that everyone has disabilities that are just as equal. People with intellectual disabilities require the same amount of love. They require what you and I do, but we sometimes forget that because they're different. Some have disabilities that seem frightening, but they want love as much as we all do. And when you give it to them, the reward is greater than any I've experienced in my life.